Hey Caroline. So watching your videos here, the first thing that I notice is that I think that you might be over facing the horse a little bit. Okay, so I want you to compare the canter that you just had with the canter this horse has. All right, now this one's 6 years old, I think, so he's a little older, but see how solid the canter is? His hocks come up underneath of him, his top line stays nice and round, and he's together the whole time. All right, much easier to manage. He jumps the jump, and he's quiet. Right away, we're back to a nice controlled stride. Okay, now I'm just using this horse as an example. It's one that we got from Europe last year, and when he came, he had only done the jumpers, and he would strung out and run like yours. But I'm using him as an example so that you can see how solid the canter can become. The other thing I want you to notice is how on the ends of the ring, I'm changing direction and going straight down the line. Okay? And now watch when I jump out of this line. There's no shift in, canter's right to the end, and now we're going perpendicular to the ring rail on the end of the fence until it's time to turn. Right? And then it's straight to this jump and straight away. Now this horse is still a pre-green horse. He's in his first year showing. A little greener than he looks, but that's what I want you to focus on right now. It says having a quieter horse on the backside, and that's going to give you a rounder jump. And then straight away. Now watch, even when he did his lead change, he wanted to shift in for that, and I corrected him and brought him back out to straight. Okay? So that's very important that we work on those nice, straight, long tracks, and that our horses learn to land and come back to us and get quiet right away. Okay? So watch the same video of you now. I doubled it over. And I want you to see how your horse's arc is really late. And you end up getting behind him trying to help him hold his balance. It's not going to work. Long term, you're going to end up with more and more trouble. You're just going to start building bigger jumps, and things are going to get a little more out of whack as you go. I think that the size of the jump you're jumping, and okay, see there, you cut your corner horrible, right? You should have gone on in and used your ring rail there. But the size of the jump that you're jumping and the track you're jumping, even though it's easy for him, right now I think it's causing you more trouble than good. Okay? So here in this video, I have a little bit of the same thing. Horse is shifting side to side. And then here, I mean, this is a pretty, I don't know if you were supposed to make that turn back to that Liverpool, but that's way too tight. And no 5-year-old should be getting trained in an equitation turn like that, especially coming off of a line. So, for that turn, even right there is too sharp for him. And then to jump that and turn and go to another jump, you're just asking for trouble. So here's an exercise I'd like you to set up. A one stride, 18 foot, and you're going to see we'll stop every time. I'll show you a bunch of videos here. I like lots of ground line. You see we have boxes all the way down through it to help the horses stay straight. This is a 5-year-old. Just got there a couple months ago. We're all going to stop right here in the same spot. Maybe not Abby, she gets a little wild sometimes, but this is a 6-year-old mare of my wife's. It's a little wild, but we're all just teaching the horses to come back. And that's what you saw that gray horse do, okay? Now watch how good Abby's is at it. She will really slow down and just want to stop. Now you can ask Abby, the first time she did it, this horse took off through the turn with her. So we want to just stop here. And I get to watching them when I'm doing it. I don't do a good enough job of stopping. But I want you to stop and stand there and let your horse relax. And I want you to do it over and over again. Okay? You can, we start at 2 foot. and we go up to 2.6. I mean, the good horses get to 4 foot, but take your time. You don't need to jump big. It's not the issue. Horse needs to come off of a jump thinking straight and quiet. All right, you can see this one gets a little quick. My wife just keeps bringing it to the same spot over and over and over. She does it a couple of days, the horse will be perfect through here. See her Abby goes off. I don't know where she was going. Cutting a turn. Something terrible, but super straight, super calm, over and over and over. 18-foot guide rails all the way through. Just keep it basic. You can work on your jump position. You can work on being square. You can work on keeping your heels down, your eyes up, making sure you have the same amount of weight. Watch as my wife goes through. She's great about that. She has great jump position, and she works on it every time through there. And then you don't have to worry about what the horse is doing. You just keep doing the exercise and thinking about you, and let the horse learn to help you out. Just like with that gray horse when I showed you him going around. I'm not doing all that stuff. I've taught that horse to do those things correctly. So I've taken some of the things that have to be done on course, and I don't have to worry about them anymore. The horse is trained to do them. So that's what these exercises will do. Just nice and calm and straight, so that every time he goes to the jump, you understand it's a nice fundamental move. Here's another exercise. This is a 5-year-old of mine. This is another exercise I'd like to do. I like to do a lot of. So I have these poles. I guess they're probably 15 or 20 feet apart, and they're 4 foot from pole to pole. I just walk the horse through the lanes. And what I want to do, that was not a good example. I want the horse to move sideways like that. See her hind end moving over there? So ideally, as the rider's going away from you or to you, their chest doesn't change direction. If the horse moves its body over together, the rider will still be looking, let's say at 12 o'clock, straight ahead. Okay. Have a bunch of examples of this coming up too, and you're going to see the horse is changing direction and the rider's changing direction, so they're not facing the same direction anymore. This is my wife on her amateur horse. He should be pretty good at it. He's the oldest one. Yeah, see a nice clean move over. You never saw the inside hind leg there. There you can see his inside hind leg a little bit. She'll probably clean it up. Yeah. Back over the other way. There he ran his shoulders quite a bit. She got a little handsy there, and he ran his shoulders. But this exercise, as you see, she's ending in the corner of the ring. So it teaches our horses to move over laterally and end up deep in the corner. And you want to put a little bend in your horse here. But this is a great way to give you a visual tool as you're working. I call this the lane exercise. So you're changing lanes. It's like the track around your high school football field. You run around, you're just changing lanes, move them over one lane, and then move them back a lane. Get them just good at moving side to side off your leg. Then when they come off of the line and want to cut the corner, you can say, no, stay over here. I need you to go straight. Finish that line. And that will really, really help. So these are a couple of the exercises that I'd like you to set up in your ring and start doing. Do this on the long side, one of them. Put your in and out on the other long side. And then give yourself one single off the left lead and one single off the right lead on the diagonal. And just practice those 4 jumps. Just the in and out and the single off the diagonal and a single off the right lead diagonal and a single off the left lead diagonal. and work on being able to make nice smooth turns, go straight away, land, even on those jumps, the singles, land and try to get him to come back to you straight and calm, okay? And then use your leg yielding exercises to get from one end of the jump to the other. So you could do left lead out of the corner that she's in and going across the diagonal, jump your jump, leg yield through the holes, and then do your right lead across the other diagonal. Now she's going to practice this at the trot. It's the same basic move, just slipping the horse over to this side, slipping him over to this side, slipping him back over, back and forth, and she'll end up in deep into the corner at the far end of the ring. But if you were to do left lead diagonal out of that turn, then you would come in the direction that she's doing it now, do your pole exercises at the walk or the trot, and then do your right lead diagonal. And you can trot those diagonals until he gets quiet and rideable and easy to work over him. See how she's staying nice and straight with her chest to us? That's the key to doing this exercise. That means the horse's body is not changing direction on you. He should stay straight and move left and move right. Don't incorporate the 18-foot one stride with any of this. When you're doing the one stride, you just trot back and forth through it. And don't go canter or jump. Do the one stride first. You can do this walk and trot to loosen your horse up. You can do the line exercise. But then do your 18-foot one stride completely by itself, back and forth several times until he starts to get good at it. If you go and jump a single jump, he's going to get a little strung out and his stride's going to start to get big, and then he's going to have trouble coming back to that 18-foot one stride. So that's going to make it really hard for him to learn how to do that one stride correctly. Okay? The other thing, I know we worked on that slow trot a lot when you were here. That's very important. The 18-foot one stride is tight, and they'll have to be calm and slow doing that. So we want that nice, slow, balanced trot in one. If you accomplish these things over the next couple of weeks, get started at it as soon as you can and send me a video of you doing these things, and I'll go over them and I'll redo this for you, and we can talk about the next steps. But those things are going to clean up your course. Okay, that's why I want a left lead and a right lead single. If you can't, that's what your course is going to start with, one or the other when you go to the horse show. And so if you can't start and have a really nice, good, solid first jump, approach to the jump, nice jump, and a nice ride away, you're probably not likely going to have a very good second or third jump, right? So we need let's just do the first one first, and then we'll add a line, and then we'll add another jump, and so forth and so on. The gray horse, here he goes again. This is the same course, so if you don't feel like watching it, you don't have to, but you still got to listen to me. That horse has not jumped a course since we left Ohio when the coronavirus thing started. He's only done the in and out and trotted, jumped at home. He's jumped the course at the trot. He has not cantered a line or anything else. This is his first course, okay? They don't need to practice it over and over and over. They need to get good at the simple things. So I can approach the first jump like I need to because of the things that I work on at home. All right, and then it makes him rideable for me. Every unbalanced stride that you practice and every unbalanced jump that you practice is getting you farther and farther and farther from your goal. Okay? They only know how to do what you practice with them. So when you're letting them cut the corners or you're letting the jump be too big, then that is muscle memory to that horse, and that's what he is going to do the next time he goes to the horse show. So then you're going to have to be an amazing rider to get a nice trip on him. I would rather train my horses well and just ride okay. I got a lesson from a really good trainer one time, a gold medalist in show jumping, and I had a horse, and I was riding it, and he said I was riding it great. I'll use his words exactly. He says, "You ride great, but you haven't taught your horse to do anything." He says you're going to get a lot farther if you learn to train great and you ride okay. So, train great, ride okay. Don't train terrible and ride great. You still lose. Well, I hope you guys find this helpful and set something up and send me another video, and I'll be glad to give you my thoughts on it. Good luck. Thanks.